So semi-final number 2 here inside the BT bubble. The kid, Harry Woods. The man, Mike Mcgoldrick. The goal, the mission to win this and beat Zach Chelli in the final and walk away with the money and the gold robe. The type of money, by the way, that can be used, parlayed, as a mortgage down payment. That's what they're fighting for, not necessarily for fun. Round 1. Harry Woods, your favourite here, Paulie? All that amateur experience and he's young, or is that me reading too much and making it too simplistic?
No, I always value amateur experience. I rate it, you know, and he's fought. He's got not only amateur experience, but he's boxed at a high level as an amateur. So I rate guys that have been there. Oh, nice counter right hand by Mcgoldrick there.
Good shot, wasn't it?
You can never underestimate those savvy old veterans. Oh, nice shot. I tell you, Woods came out sleeping, and Mcgoldrick got some big shots early on.
Well, we talked earlier on, Pauline, when you and I were backstage having a quiet cup of tea, and we said that Mike Mcgoldrick needs to win the opening round or he'll end up being on the end of Harry Woods' educated jab. I think Mcgoldrick might have been listening.
Yeah, Mcgoldrick got in there with some big shots and almost careless shots for Woods to take, though. You know, he's not really giving you a lot of head movement. He's not moving after each other. There's another counter right hand again. Second counter right hand he's taken. He's got to change the rhythm on the jab he's throwing. Mcgoldrick really is getting on the front foot now.
He certainly shocked Harry Woods, I think, with the first couple of shots, and certainly with that shot. I think Harry Woods needs to maybe take a bit of a breather and just try and find a little bit of rhythm, certainly for that long, very smart jab.
Nice counter combination there by Woods. Woods has to get going. Nice counter jab by Mcgoldrick. A lot of impact in this first round, I'll tell you. The shots are landing, you know, like they're not on the gloves, they are landing.
They're not thinking about the second round, let alone the final to come here. They're not thinking about that. They're just thinking about winning this round, then moving into the second. Winning that round, they're moving into the third.
Woods now has gotten himself into a position where he's got to fight more than he probably would have liked to. He probably wanted to stay at that range, but now he's got to fight more than he wants to, otherwise he's going to give away this round.
Undoubtedly, he's now the one who possibly will be going to the second round, chasing it. This is a hard round. We've seen this so many times in BOXXER, when two guys go out, even if they're smart guys, and they have these bang-ups, these knock-ups in the first round, it leaves them at a disadvantage as you go forward. It's good for the fans, good for the viewers, but it's a tough way to progress in a tournament, Paul.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, especially when you've got Zach Chelli waiting for you in the final. You want to have your energy for that guy.
Zach will be backstage thinking, these guys are going to do this for 9 minutes? Are they really going to fight like this for 9 minutes?
And keep in mind, it's the second semifinal, so they get less rest than Zach got.
Absolutely, considerably less.
And when you look at Zach, he probably looks like he doesn't even need the rest. Oh, nice combination by Mcgoldrick to punctuate.
Well, the BOXXER super middleweight tournament has come to life here in the opening round of the second semi-final. Harry Woods, the 25-year-old unbeaten kid from Merseyside, trains under Paul Stevenson in the ERT, the Everton Red Triangle setup, against Mike Mcgoldrick. Mcgoldrick, the veteran at 35. We said earlier, Paulie Malignaggi, that he had to come out in the first round, and he has come out in the first round. He's picked up a nick under his right eye. Johnny Greaves is looking after that. Paulie, I like that first round. The tournament's come alive.
Yeah, absolutely. Both guys, you see some big shots there by Mcgoldrick. You see Woods landed a little left hook on the back foot, but Mcgoldrick's harder shots that really carried the round, and I thought won him the round.
Second out, round 2.
So does Harry Woods box like we know he can, or does he try and take it back and grab the fight back, having, I think, possibly lost the first round?
I'll tell you what, if he can do that, but he's got to get very busy with the jab. At this distance, he has to dominate at this distance right here. He's giving Mcgoldrick too much easy time, too much of an easy time making his way inside. If you're going to box the next 2 rounds and win the next 2 rounds, you've got to control that distance. You got to be busy at it. And here he's backfighting again. Oh, nice. Mcgoldrick's going to love this distance. He lands a big left hook again.
McGoldrick putting everything into it. This is what we've seen in boxing, whether it's the super, whether it's the light heavies, whether it's the cruisers, whether it's the heavies. The really good fighters, the hungry ones, put everything into every round, Paul.
Absolutely, absolutely. And in this tournament, you kind of have no choice because there's not a lot of rounds to go. It feels like Woods now feels he has to fight this way. I don't think he had to. I think if he can box his way through 2 and 3, he wins the fight. But he's just not busy enough at a distance. McGoldrick closes the gap for free, essentially, easily.
Those were good movement there with his feet, and then looking to land shots. McGoldrick is making Harry Woods fight his fight, and it's not Harry Woods' fight. It's now it's an old-fashioned slugfest now, Paul.
Yeah, he's sharp. McGoldrick is sharp. I'll tell you. If this guy's 35 years old and nobody took notice of him, I mean, this guy's got some nice, sharp little qualities to him. And Woods seems like the kind of guy he doesn't really have an identity. You know, he's got this height. He seems like he wants to box on the outside, but then McGoldrick closes the gap easily, and he winds up fighting like this, and he's getting the worse for wear of it on the inside. Look at a nice change of angle by McGoldrick. You see how he did that? Dipping, stepping over.
He's done it several times.
Came up punching. Absolutely, I love it.
And they're good. He's
There it is again.
He's making it look natural and smooth.
Yeah, savvy, really.
But they're still tight rounds. They're still tight rounds. Is McGoldrick nicking this round like he nicked the first, or is it still a tight round, Paulie?
I got McGoldrick winning. He's landing the harder shots, the cleaner shots there, you know. I mean, it's not for the lack of trying from Woods, but McGoldrick shots get through, you know. And this distance, of course, at this distance is a better distance for McGoldrick, as both guys now giving and taking.
This is a hard fight when you think that one of these guys will have to do the whole thing again in probably 20-odd minutes, 30 minutes time.
Look at like, smooth step.
Good shots, aren't they?
But smooth step overs by McGoldrick, you know, finding the angles. It's just a better distance to fight at for McGoldrick. Woods obviously has a big heart. He's trying to come back and take these rounds. Oh, nice little uppercut by Woods. That's what he needs more of that. He needs to get through the guard like that. McGoldrick seems to me to have gotten through the guard more.
I think Woods is having a good last minute here. I really do. I still think I think you're right. McGoldrick could very well win the round on the first 2 minutes, but I think Woods has had a really good last minute, which tells us one thing, Paulie. We're going to be in for a rooting-tooting final round.
I think about 3 rounds, you got to win the last one either way.
It's the end of round 2, but it could very well look like, if you're watching it, the end of round 9 or the end of round 11, or in the old days, old money as they say, the end of round 14. They have not held anything back from the opening seconds. They have gone at each other. And this might be a situation of who you favour, what you're looking for. Harry Woods, has he done enough in the last couple of rounds? I don't think so. I think McGoldrick's just pushed him and just moved himself in front.
Don't come in a straight line.
Paulie, some people around ringside, I'm looking at people's eyes, think it's a little bit close. Some are pointing at Woods, some are pointing at McGoldrick. We've got it narrowly 2 rounds to McGoldrick, but hard round.
And that's why I was trying to say at the end of the last round, Bunsy, in a 3-round fight, you always want to win the last round anyway. You just can never really be sure if any of the judges have given your opponent one of the rounds, even though you may think you've won the first 2 rounds.
Let's not even talk about the man, Zach Shelley. They'll be meeting in the final in about 25, 30 minutes time, because it's all about this next 180 seconds, and the clock is ticking as we go forward. They both got to push it. They both got to take the type of risk that really you don't want to be taking in tournament boxing.
Nice catch and shoots there by McGoldrick. You know, Woods is trying to dig shots inside. McGoldrick catching on the arms and then coming. Look at that. Look at those little beautiful catch and shoot right there. I remember when I was in the camp with James DeGale, Jim McDonald used to call those triggers. You know, it's like somebody touches your elbow and then it triggers the shot right back. Not a lot of weight on them, but what they do is they punch inside of the guy who's trying so hard. There it is again. Watch the little trigger shots.
I've been really impressed with McGoldrick tonight, Paulie, and I'm sure, and I know you have too. Some of the stuff we've seen him do, some of the old pro
He's using Woods' effort against him now. Watch. Woods tries to load the big shots. McGoldrick catches and comes right back and fires.
You have the expression in America, Paulie, when a man who's senior in years, not necessarily in experience, but certainly in years, old man's a young boy out of a fight. He's old man. He is Mcgoldrick, I think, is old man, Harry, out of this fight this evening. It's still tight though, Paul.
Wiley, and Harry's trying with his youthful energy. Harry's trying, but Mcgoldrick is taking that youthful energy and sort of counteracting it. You know, maybe not using as much energy, but using Harry's energy against him. There, see, look at the counters. He's opening up. He's finding the openings because Harry's trying so hard. He's finding the openings because Harry's opening himself up too much, throwing too much. The punch is way too hard on the inside.
It seems to me that everything Mcgoldrick tries, whether it's the step aside, whether it's using the triggers, as Jimmy Mack told you when you spent that time with the gap, anything Mcgoldrick's trying seems to be working. It's just one of those fights.
Absolutely, and they're fighting at a distance that benefits Mcgoldrick. Of course. You see this, and you think Woods, okay, if you're Woods, make the adjustment, put him on the end of the jab, you know, put him on the end of some long shots. But he's inviting this kind of fight, and Mcgoldrick really showing some savvy moves in there, savvy punch selection, and triggers, even the way when he leads, when they're not triggers, when they're on the offensive himself, there was triggers on the counter, but really sharp fight work inside.
You know one thing, Paulie? I told you Harry Woods would use all of his movement and jab, didn't I, and win this comfortably. I told you he would.
You know what I think, Bunty? He got off on the wrong foot in the first 20 seconds, and then I feel like he felt like, I've got no choice, I've got to fight. And this type of fight will play with your mind.
It was the best fight so far of the night. That was a terrific semi-final here for super middleweight. And I'm going to say it just once. I'm not going to harp on about it. But if that fight had been at an arena in Manchester or Liverpool with 1,200 or 1,500 or 2,000 people, we would be standing. Every single person would be standing. Here's round one, Paulie. Just have a little look at these.
Mcgoldrick started the fight just like this. Came up with big left hook, then a counter right hand right there. He actually landed 2 counters.
That was the start, the very start.
And I think it got Woods into the mode that, hey, I got to fight this guy. Now I'm behind. It's only a 3-round fight. I've got to fight this guy. And Woods landed some decent shots himself. But at the end, I think this distance, he fought at the distance that was most conducive for Mcgoldrick's style. And with it, when you're this as tall as Woods is, when you have the amateur experience Woods has, you're probably a better boxer on the outside. But I think he felt the pressure of losing the early part of the fight and felt like he needed to fight his way back into contention. I don't think he ever did. I think Mcgoldrick got it.
And I think I'm looking at Harry Woods there. I think he knows. He got it wrong tonight. I'm looking at Mike Mcgoldrick. He might think he's got it, but he is breathing and sucking in air there. 3 torrid rounds. 3 torrid rounds for the 2 boxers, one of whom will progress in the next 30 or so minutes to the final here of BOXXER, the super middleweights. Live and exclusive from inside the BT boxing bubble, which in turn is in the shadow of the Olympic Stadium. London 2012. A 2-week period packed and full of heroes. Let's see if the MC is ready. It looks to me like the referee will pull the pair of them together. Now the MC is, they're checking the scores, and I'm not surprised they're checking the scores, because in tight contests where perhaps one man has just shaded one round and just lost the next round and another judge sees it the other way, it always takes a slight bit longer to tally up the scores. The scoring in British professional boxing is a normal round is 10-9. If one of the boxers manages to drop his opponent, that round will be scored 10-8, but it's 10-9. And if the judge or referee who scores it can't separate the scores, then can't separate the 2 boxers during a round, that score will be 10-10. So they're just trying to work this out at the moment. The British Boxing Board of Control are on the opposite side to where I am. They're the men and women that run the sport in this country. And in fact, it's one of the best governing bodies in the world, if not the best in the world. We lead on safety measures, and we lead on sense, and there's sometimes in boxing not a lot of sense. They are getting closer to being ready, but I still don't think they're ready yet. We obviously have a very, very tight decision. Has Mike Mcgoldrick, that man who picked up a slight nick under his right eye, done enough to take the verdict and walk into the final, or has Harry Woods done enough? Let's go to the MC now.
And after 3 rounds of action, we go to the judges' scorecards. Terry O'Connor scores about 29-28. Bob Williams scores about 30-27. And Kieran McCann scores about 29-28. All 3 in favor of your winner by unanimous decision. And advancing to tonight's final, Michael McGoldrick!